Welcome once again to the vlog. I am your host. Today, I'm going to talk about Disney After Hours Boo Bash 2021. With everything going on, they didn't do a Halloween party last year, and it's been well over a year since they've done any hard-ticketed events at all. Boo Bash isn't really an after-hours event, and it's not a Halloween party. It's something else. I'll just bury the lead here. I had a good time at the Boo Bash, but it was by far the worst hard-ticket event I've ever attended. It was expensive like an after-hours party, but it was super crowded. It had Halloween elements like a Halloween party, but they were extremely limited. While fun, it just didn't quite live up to my expectations. Boo Bash is a 3-hour event, and it's pretty expensive. It's priced between $129 to $199, depending on the night, and there's also a $10 DVC and annual pass discount for the months of August and September. I paid $119 using my DVC discount in September. So let's first talk about how it's like and how it's not like an after-hours event of the past. After-hours events are typically a little more expensive than the parties, and this event is certainly more expensive. You can also get as many sodas, ice cream sandwiches, and popcorn as you'd like. However, unlike an after-hours event, the Boo Bash was very crowded. Typically, with after-hours events, they weren't crowded at all. You kinda had the park to yourself. At Boo Bash, it felt like nobody actually left after the park closed to the general public, which was kinda odd. Most ride lines weren't bad, but Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was actually longer many times during the Boo Bash than it was during the fireworks. The lines for trick-or-treating and pictures were pretty long too. We're talking 20 to 30 minutes in some cases just to get a picture. They just didn't have that many photographers. Most of the lines for rides were fairly reasonable, but not what I've come to expect out of an after-hours event. So, as a Halloween party, it wasn't up to par either. It had Halloween elements, but no big shows, no big parades, and there were not a lot of characters at all. It still was fun to dress up and see everyone else dressed up in their Halloween best. Instead of a big parade, they had 3 Halloween cavalcades, which were really cute, but it was more like a cut-rate version of the normal parade. They had trick-or-treating, but they had less locations than from what I remember. The lines were kind of long at the start of the night, and they only gave out a few pieces of candy. However, by the end of the night, the lines were pretty much non-existent, so they were giving out handfuls of candy. I mean, it was fun, but I still think they could have done better. There were characters and they were fun, but they had a lot less characters than they normally do. It was all socially distant, so it was pretty much with no interaction, you know? The princesses were also absent from the party from what I saw, so that was kind of disappointing as well. They did have a little dance party thing for the kids, and I think that those that took part enjoyed it. However, it was a bit disappointing that they didn't do the big shows or the fireworks. I knew that they weren't, but given the cost and the crowds, it all seemed very lazy on their part. They did have some limited edition merchandise, but you had to buy them before midnight. The stores all close at midnight. I don't really care about that kind of stuff, so it wasn't a big deal to me. So I think I've been pretty forgiving to Disney. I know they've had a hard year, but you know, I've had a hard year too. It wasn't necessarily bad, it's just that this event didn't really live up to what I paid for, and it wasn't really what I expected. It wasn't a good after-hours party because they sold way too many tickets, and it wasn't a good Halloween party because the offerings were cut rate. However, with all that said, I still enjoyed myself, and I think it's possible to enjoy yourself at the Boo Bash if you have the right mindset. So we're still in a bit of a Cartman land situation where we've been told for so long that we can't go and we can't do certain things. So with all that said, I just really wanted to go and enjoy the Halloween Disney stuff. I guess I wasn't really expecting it to be back to normal, so I was more willing to be more accepting of the product that they provided. I think with the After Hours moniker that it would have been a little more like an After Hours event. I know I probably sound a bit contradictory here, but essentially you're paying more for less at the Boo Bash. And even saying that, I still had a good time. I often do multiple hard ticket events during my trips, but I only did one Boo Bash night, and I think that was good enough for me. I don't know if I would do it again if they don't improve their offerings. I just didn't feel it was worth what I paid for. Honestly, I'm a bit more interested in the extra magic hours for staying at a deluxe resort, more so than I am in doing another one of these type of events. I want to thank you for watching my video, and I want to remind you that this is not an endorsement of the aforementioned product. I paid the prevailing rate with use of my Disney Vacation Club discounts for being a DVC Club member. Thank you again, and I hope you have a magical day.